Hi there, this is a tutorial video about your ALF Core Hybrid training, which is the partial online and partial on-site training. And I'm just going to take you through the steps. So first of all, you should have received an email with your username and login. If you're watching this video, you're obviously logged in. So you see your name in the right-hand corner. That means you're logged in. So sometimes you may say, hey, call and having a technical support problem. Before you do that, make sure your name is here where it says you are logged in as and not you are logged in as guest. Okay, so you'll always want to go to My Courses right here. You can also click on it here, but this is always at the top. Now, as you can see, you're going to have 3 items in your account when you purchase the hybrid course. Okay, this course right here is the partial course. This is just the part you need to complete online. If you don't want to even look at the material that will be presented on site, then just stick to this part right here. You'll be fine. This course here is the full version of our online core training. So you actually get both. You get the hybrid, you get to come to the class, and then you also get the online portion. Okay, so this is a good idea to go through and maybe get some advanced information before your class. And then the other thing you're going to get is the ALF Core Exam Prep. Okay, so these 3 items, they're all in your My Courses section. So first thing you do is you go into the hybrid, and underneath the video you see a list of links to resources. Here's the 294 page administrator guide. Okay, it's a manual. Then you have here 58A. Okay, it's a Word doc, so you can download it, save it, print it. You have 429, the Florida statutes. Now each one is separated by section number, so if we cite a section, you can click on it or do a search. Okay, this is the Assistance with Self-Administered Medication Guidebook. This is the guidebook that they recommend you use for instructing your staff. If you're an RN or a or a pharmacist, you can teach this class. The 2-hour continuing and the initial 4, soon to be 6. It'll soon be 6 hours. This is the link to the Florida Building Code. Okay, so a lot of times in the Florida statutes or in the Florida Administrative Code, it'll reference sections of the Florida Building Code. So this is where you'll find that. 64E is food and hygiene. Okay, so it references all the things that you'll be covered with regard to assisted living, food and hygiene. Okay. This is fire safety, 69A. Once again, it's a Word doc. And you can download it, save it. Okay. Then a lot of times we'll cover this in the first module, but 69A fire safety, I'm sorry, first module of the online training, and I think we might cover it a little bit. Yes, we do cover it a little bit here in general license activity about the fire safety standards. So this is the Florida version of the fire safety, and then a lot of times they refer to the national NFPA guidelines. Okay, and that's all here. And then this Aspen regulation set, this is what the surveyors use when they're doing a survey and how they may cite you. They may give you a citation for STA0003. Okay, this is what they use. This is almost 300 pages, I think. 162 pages. You could print this. It's a good thing to have. Okay, now some of the technical requirements. There's a video in here that says what is a browser. You can watch that. It's helpful. Okay. Once again, it just says don't use Internet Explorer if you don't have to. Try to use Firefox, Chrome, or Safari. Okay. Then now this is just a demonstration of what you could see if videos are taking a while to load. Sometimes people call me and say that my video is not working, but this is actually a short little clip that demonstrates an error message you might receive. And if you're receiving this message, it might be that the video host, like say YouTube or another source, is having some technical difficulties, and you just might have to come back and try that video again later. So you can just click next and go on and come back. Some videos are flash. We're trying to eliminate them. So if you're using a tablet or an iPad, let's say, you might have problems. So if it says you need flash, then you might need to switch for that video to a desktop that has a updated version of flash. Okay. If you're logging in and it says invalid username, or if your password disappears, then check to see which browser you're using, because you might be using Microsoft Internet Explorer. Okay. Now, basically, this whole section here is all the parts that you need before you come to the hybrid online course. If you don't finish it all before the course, that's fine. We just won't issue your certificate at the course. We'll have to mail it to you afterward. Okay? So basically, you start here at the introduction, definitions, and reference review. There's also a question board. You can post questions. This is a new course, so we don't have any questions here, but feel free to post them. Share your questions with other people to help them learn. But you'll go into the introduction. Each lesson looks like this, and then you'll just go through the lesson that way. You can always go back up using this breadcrumb trail, they say. So basically, you get back to the main page, you just click on ALF Core Hybrid, takes you back out. Okay. After you do that, then you'll start the activity, general license activity. Gives you instructions on the lesson, and then there's a recorded message, a recording, and then you just go through each section just like that. Okay. Now, just because there's a check mark doesn't always mean that you've actually completed the entire task, because tasks have two components. One that you view it, and then one that you spend the appropriate amount of time. At the end of every module, you'll see this quiz here, so you can take the quiz as many times as you want. You have to get 50% to move on. If you fail it, don't worry, nobody's checking. Just go ahead and reattempt the quiz, and it's no problem whatsoever. You can check your questions as you go along, and you can't change it though. Once you've selected it and submitted it, it tells you the answer, but at least you can see where you are. Okay. Now this is important. You got to submit all and finish in order for it to allow you to move on. Okay, so it says you did not pass the quiz. Okay, so you need to get 50% on the quizzes, and then it'll unlock the next module. Okay, so module 2, you got to complete quiz 1, and you go on down the list all the way down. Special needs, resident rights, person-centered care, diagnosis, and then after you've completed all of these, you'll be able to generate a certificate. Okay, it says here you have to spend a minimum time of 840 minutes, which is 16 hours. I'm sorry, 14 hours, and then we do 12 hours on site. Okay, once you generate, this is the certificate you need to bring with you to the on-site core. Okay, so generate the certificate, bring it in to us. We also get notification when you generate it. Then we can give you your certificate at the on-site training. Okay, so don't forget, bring your certificate or at least generate it. Okay, so if you forget it, we'll still get notification and we can look it up. Okay, so that covers the hybrid, if that's all you want to do. If you're ahead of schedule and you want to attempt the online version, you go right into the online core training. It looks very similar. It's got all the links, it's got the question board, um, but it goes a lot more into detail. Like, for example, Module 2 is administration of an assisted living facility. And we're going to cover this topic on site, but you'll be much more prepared if you take these online um, ahead of time. Module 3 is records. That's not part of the hybrid, so you could take that. Module 4. The only thing is that Module 1, General License Activity, will be a repeat for you, but that's just the way it is. You have to repeat it in order to get to all these things. Okay, medication management, and then all of these other ones are the same thing, but let's say you decided you want to take the class online and not come to the class, or you couldn't make it to the class, then you would complete everything else here. Okay, and then at the end, you'll actually get a certificate right within this course. Okay, you're not going to have to come to a training and get a certificate. You can get it all right here within this. Okay, and the last thing that we have is the ALF core exam prep, where we give you a lot of the links again, and then we've compiled a practice exam which consists of 280 questions. And that may change when you're watching this video. It may go up. We may break it up into 5 different exams, but right now that's the way it is. One big exam that you can take over and over again as many times as you want. Okay. So those are the 3. You can always contact us here, and there's our phone number, our email address, and you can hit submit. It'll come right to our technical support desk. If you're trying to figure out the exam times and dates for the state exam, here's all the information you need under the exam prep. Technical help, there's a link up here for technical help. Whatever topic technical support may say, go to technical help link and look, view number 1. And number 1 is browser issues. You can download different browsers here. This teaches you how to clear your old passwords. Okay? And that is it. Okay? So if you have any questions, feel free to call us and or email support. Thanks, and I look forward to seeing you at our on-site core training.